Billy Cody, welcome in. Billy Cody, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I know we missed you too. How's the baby doing? How's baby Dennis doing? Tanya, welcome in. Tanya, are you at work? Tanya, how's everything going? I'm doing okay. And John going back to sleep at 5:30. Oh, sweet. Welcome to those of you on YouTube. Christina, welcome in. Christina, I got your recent pictures, and you're getting another snow dump. My gosh. Good. Just been sick all day since I got up, but at work. Oh. I did. Oh, not yet, Christina. We just signed on. I'll sign that. I'll show them after the first book. That way we get more people in there. Tanya, doing really good today. We had several meetings at work, which were successful. Came home. It was a slow day today. I like slow days. Don't have to worry about too much. Robolox Kid, welcome in. Welcome to those of you on YouTube. This is a children's literature hour. I am a children's literature author. I'd be falling asleep during those. Tanya, they're kind of high energy, at least for me, because there's so much information that you have to give to the parents. It's supposedly going to be about until Sunday. Yeah, that big snow dump, especially since you guys already got a lot. Hey, Adeline, welcome in. Tired. I'm just so tired, but I'm okay. Yeah, Billy Cody, I could not relate, but I am very empathetic with him. I'm sure mentally and emotionally it's very tiring. Georgia Peach, welcome in. It's supposedly. Hey, Janelle Howell, welcome in. Doing really good. It was a slow day today at work. My 4th grade teacher used to make. I love it, Tanya. They were a real one, huh? It's ridiculous. We already have so much snow. Christina, when there's a lot of snow, do you guys get like a really nice spring, a really cool summer? How does that work out? We when we get a lot of rain here, we get a really nice spring. Hey, Ronnie, welcome in. He has not slept through the night yet. Oh, wow. I don't think we've had this bad of winter in a long time. Oh, okay. Georgia Peach in Virginia, we're supposedly going to get slammed with snow and freezing temps. Oh, I'm wondering if you're getting what Christina's getting. Right now, Christina's like knee deep in snow. Jim Glott, welcome in. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We're just waiting for 10 minutes after the hour or 20 p.m. Oh, sorry. My trauma and anxiety has healed unlovingly. Oh, good. Ronnie Graver, I haven't seen you in forever. Is this the Ronnie Graver? I know you were struggling there for a bit. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. Oh no, that's fun. Ronnie Graver, baseball season's coming up soon. We don't have that long before spring training. Yeah, Ronnie doing really good. Thank you. I remember watching all your baseball stories on Instagram. Instagram. He's 4 months, so he will sleep the night when he's ready. Yeah. Billy Cody, how long does he sleep at night? How many hours do you get? Welcome to those of you on YouTube. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We're streaming on TikTok as well. Oh yeah. Ronnie, where are you from? I'm ready for this cold. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Life with Stuff. I really appreciate that. We'll begin in a couple of minutes. We normally read 4 books a night. Georgia, 30 degrees outside right now. Wow. Yeah, everybody's getting cold weather. Right now I'm in Southern California, and right now it is 63 degrees. Guys, this has been our weather. It's not a brag or anything, but look at how hot it was today, 76. And then it gets down into the 40s. It's not very cold. Oh, you're from Georgia as well? Life with Stuff, 28 degrees. Nice. He wakes up every 2 to 3 hours, and I lay him down at 7:30. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. So you haven't had a consistent night of sleep. I'm in 13 degrees, Jim Glatt. Oh my god. Yikes. You guys are going through it. Yes, Ronnie Graver. This year I'm doing 7th grade. 7th grade is treating me really good. Last semester it was busy. Last semester it caught up with me. Just getting everything ready. But the kids are doing really great. We're in the 2nd week of the semester. Slowly coming in. Doing really good. Georgia Peach, my heart keeps running on. Oh no! He'd been stuck for 66. Oh yeah. Has that happened before, Georgia Peach? Oh, Ronnie Grave, I appreciate that. Thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. I'm trying, but I get sleep when I can. I do sleep when he sleeps though, because I'm always so tired. Yeah, I bet. Oh. And Billy Cody, how is your postpartum? How is that? How are you managing? Ronnie Graver, doing really good. I have some updates for you guys today, as a matter of fact. I got the colored pictures of Joe E. King and the Fragile Figurine. Let me bring my let me get my laptop. Give me 1 second. Thank you so much for asking me. Right? It's when I started therapy, and so it's helping. Oh, good, Billy Cody. Is there a support group online or something that you could join, Billy Cody, with other new mommies, so you can? It's always nice to. Hey, Prince Hartford, welcome in. Lauren, welcome in. So you can talk to some other people. I knew when I was going through some tough times, I joined this one online group. It was really nice. Good to hear that. Guys, let me bring my laptop and I'll show you right now. Lauren, I love it. Yes. Hey, take it where you can find it. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Um, our goal tonight is going to be 45K. We went far and above our goal yesterday, so we did a fantastic job. So today we're going to continue with 4,500. I love it. I love it, love it. I love that you guys have a small community outside. So I did get the final pictures ready, so you guys are gonna get to see actually what the book is gonna look like once it's in a hard copy. Um, we are gonna the illustrator, the company did ask me to look at each of the slides and to add more details because some of the pictures are still a little bit basic, so we're gonna add some detail to it. But this, let me move this light out of the way here. This is what the cover is gonna look like. I want to give you guys the whole. Let me get this lighting right. I think it might be this here. Let me lower that down a little. Let's see. Can you guys see it? Let me get it in the right lighting there. So there's the cover. We're going to tone down. I asked him to tone down his face a little bit more. He did, huh? I'm going to ask him to tone down the face a little bit more. He's a little too happy on this one. But this is the, this is going to be the back cover here. So each time we release a book, this is white right now. Each time we release another book, it's going to get bluer and bluer as Joey gets to know himself. So one of the things that I asked them to do was to use this face on the front cover. So I said, just take that face off and use this one. I think this one's a lot more sweeter. Hey Angel, welcome in. So here's the opening page. Thank you so much, Prince Hairflip. I know you guys have been here the beginning. And then there's Dad. And what they asked me to do, see these little like blue chips here? There's like these little tags. The company asked me to fill in these spaces here with ideas. So I asked for like, since we don't talk about his mom in this book, I said make it a little bit feminine in the back, like really nice table setting, make the table a little bit smaller, put like a china cabinet back here, just so that we can we know that there's a mom in the picture. And then here is when Dad brushes them off the first time. Hey Cabrino, welcome in. And then there he is on the bed. We're gonna switch up the bed sheets a little. We're gonna put some of his artwork on the wall here. So we're gonna do some like yeah, yes, Angel. Yeah, Prince Haircut, we're gonna do some like little things about who he is. He's gonna do some artwork here, and then we're gonna make this bed sheet. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit so it's blue, and then we're gonna put little pink brushes on there because Joey's an artist. Joey King is an artist. And then here is when he's showing off the snow globe to his teachers. Again, we're gonna add some things in the background there. There's when the girls see him, the snow globe. Then the story continues. The girls are looking at it. They see the snow. He's all excited about the snow globe. I just love the way this turned out. It's so gorgeous. And then the girls are saying, that's not a snow globe. Hope globe, that's just a fancy snow globe, but it's not even special. And then Eric nodded, and so that's when they're asking him to drop it. And so he's thinking about it, and then he drops it. So there's like little details here that are missing, like the artist didn't put the little rainbow thing here. And then we asked them to put like little red berries. Little red berries and some little purple flowers, and then some birds in the background here. Doesn't it, Georgia Peach? It looks really good, huh? Super excited about it. So when he goes in, this one needed a lot of work. I asked them to put like vines here on the fence, a row of flowers here, maybe some vines growing up here, 2 bushes here with rose bushes here. More detail on that door. We want like a window, like a little glass window there on the door. He forgot to put in the snow globe in here, or the little rainbow. It's shattered, but forgot to put that together. Thank you so much, Cody. Billy Cody, I appreciate that. And then there's when he goes to his dad, and his dad's not talking to him again. Dad's busy. Dad's busy. We need to fix this. We have to angle the bed the other way because this doesn't match the earlier bed. And there's the teacher. There she is helping him put it back together again. There they finished it. Brings it home, shows his dad. I asked them to put a date on the newspaper so it looks like it's the next day. Otherwise, we feel like Dad's been on that couch for 2 days, which in reality can be realistic. Hey, Magali, welcome in. And then there's the finished product. And again, I made them go back with this one because we want the bed pushed back with the moon. This is supposed to be at night. And we're supposed to have, because we love a good moon. In children's literature, always have to have a moon shining in on the picture. And then there's a little blurb at the end for the second book. And this is the, yeah, we love a good moon. This is a blurb for the second book that's coming out. I had asked them to draw a picture for it, but it was going to be too expensive. It says, Carrie On wasn't like other kids. Her long golden hair was always escaping its ponytail, curling around her freckled face like little question marks. Her green eyes darted around like she was always solving a puzzle no one else could see. So that's going to be the second book. Hey, Team Emmerich, welcome in. It's going to be Joey King and Carrie On. Carrie On, his friend. And Carrie On is a very smart girl, but she always plays it down. Oops. Sorry about that. She's a very smart girl, but she always plays down her smartness. So we find out how she does that in the second book. Thank you guys so much for letting me share that with you. I really appreciate that. So I'm thinking just those little ads should be another week. Team Emmerich, I went through this place called, it's called the Beehive. Let me show you the website. It's an online, so I was doing my research. Beehive Illustrators, I think it's called. And I found it on the internet, and I was looking through it, and what really caught my eye is that they give you a big catalog of all their artists and the types of drawings that they've done in the past. And so I'm going through them. It's all online. I don't have to do anything in person. We've just been doing it through email, which has been really fun. Beehive, I think it's called Beehive Books or Beehive Online Illustrators. Really easy, really simple. And I trust they give suggestions, they give really good suggestions when I'm like, well, I don't really know what to do on this one. So it really works out. Thank you guys so much, Georgia Peach. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so another week, and then I'm thinking maybe by the end of March we should be ready. But I'll keep you guys updated. All right, let's go ahead and set the timer for 1 minute. Let's tap, tap, tap away. We want to get to 45K by the end of the night. That way we can send the live up to the For You page. We're going to begin with a little book, Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. We're going to do a, thank you so much for the turtle, I appreciate that. All my ride or dies are on tonight. We're going to read about the history of America, and the best way to do it are these little nuggets. Oh, thank you so much, Prince Harflip. I appreciate that. The way we do this is we're going to read this little piece, and it'll give us like something to chew on at the beginning, just to get our brains warmed up. Yeah, Wild Faith. Ronnie Graver was the one who was asking about it. I was going to wait till the other pieces came in, till the second renditions came on, so I wouldn't have to keep telling you guys, oh, it's got to come back. But I thought, oh, now's a good time as any. Augusta Savage, 1892 to 1962, educator and sculptor. Augusta grew up in a poor family with 13 brothers and sisters in Green Cove Springs, Florida. Ladybug, welcome in. I cried. I love it. As a child, she had no toys to play with, but she loved to make things. Augusta spent her time in the backyard where the soil was rich with natural red clay. This was where she learned to make miniature animals for herself and others. However, her father did not approve of her creativity. Even though it meant angering him, Augusta continued to sculpt. Yes, Augusta's a gorgeous name. In 1921, she moved to Harlem, a prominent African American neighborhood in New York City. At the time, the community was experiencing an exciting boom in the arts known as the Harlem Renaissance, and Augusta was part of it. She thrived artistically, but this did not change the hardships of racism that were still prevalent in the United States and around the world. Augusta openly fought racial prejudice in the art world and was labeled a troublemaker. She said that she was standing up not only for herself, but the future students of color. Augusta dedicated much of her life to teaching and encouraging young people to pursue their artistic passion. She felt that their creations could be part of her legacy. In Harlem, she opened her own school, the Savage School of Arts and Crafts, and she became the first director of the Harlem Community Arts Center. In 1932, she created her most iconic work, a large piece commissioned by the New York World's Fair titled Lift Every Voice and Sing, also known as the Harp. Despite her artistic success, Augusta struggled with finances and racism until late in life, but she always found a way to keep making art. Augusta Savage. New York has, Prince Harflip, New York has a lot of, and the South has a lot of historical black artists, writings, paintings. It'd be really interesting to do like a tour to see what that is, where that all those are at, especially in Harlem. The end. Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. Always a good way to start the live. Get your brain thinking, get your brain going, getting it warmed up. Always a good way of historical facts. All right. Let's look at the stacks and see what we have today. We still have a lot of good titles left. A lot of good titles. Looking at all the titles before. And I was thinking, oh, there's a lot of good ones. We're going to start with this one tonight. Bigger Than a Dream. Yes, let's tap, tap, tap away. Before the end of this book, we should be at 10K. For all of us who have a dream, gorgeous end page. Look how pretty that is. Birds flying away. The first time I heard of her, I was sitting at the table eating some marzipan. Suddenly, there was a rustling in my ear. I tried to wiggle it out of my finger. After taking another bite, I heard soft whispering. I looked left at the clicking radiator and right at the aquarium, down at my bare feet and up to the cuckoo clock. The house was full of noises, but none of them whispered like this. So here's our friend. Marzipans are those little circular things, and they're like almost like dough, or they're like powdery. And he's sitting in this big table. Got these little things here. They look like dice. Very abstract. We got a little teddy bear here. Brother! I stopped chewing. It sounded miles away, but close, too. Shut your eyes, the little voice shouted, straining to be heard. I blinked and took a deep breath. Mom was cutting up cucumber in the kitchen. Dad was reading the paper. Cover your ears! I cupped my hands and pressed them against the sides of my head. The cucumber slices fell silently. The newspaper had stopped crinkling. That was when I knew it was her. So he got up, listening for that sound. There's the black cat. Oh, Mogobi, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Her photo is on the wall above the table. It's not color like mine. It's gray with a yellow sheen. Shall we? Sis called. What? I blocked my ears and I listened as hard as I could. Go for a bike ride. I know you can do a lot when you're dead. You can make conversations falter and you can make people cry. People put on solemn voice when they say your name, and just thinking of you makes them hug each other. But going for a bike ride? I'll take you out tonight, she screamed. I nodded even though I was completely baffled. And don't forget the marzipan. Oh, so I'm wondering if this is his sister who died. This is a very artistic book. Deep. So it says her photo is on the wall above the table. It's not color like mine. Yeah, it's very cool illustration, very symbolic. It's gray with a yellow sheen. Shall we? Sis called. What? I blocked my ears and listened as hard as I could. Go for a bike ride. I know you can do a lot when you're dead. You make conversations falter and you can make people cry. People put on a solemn voice when they say your name, and just thinking of you makes them hug each other. But going for a bike ride? That night, I didn't fall asleep. I kept the marzipans hidden inside my pajamas. What's going through that mind of yours? Mom said after turning off the light. I'm going to die. Am I going to die too? I asked. One day, but not yet. Does it hurt? Everything goes quiet, she said. Dying is like dreaming, but bigger. Interesting. A children's book on death. We've never had a book like this before. How do you approach the subject of death to a child? Suddenly, Sis was standing next to my bed and pulling on the sheets. I had never seen her in real life before. Her photo turned gray before I was born. Get up, she said, her voice as loud as anyone else's now. It's time. There were so many things I wanted to ask her. Did you get hiccups when you're dead? Do you get hiccups when you're dead? Do you talk to yourself under the ground? Is it really quiet down there, or do you get music sometimes too? If you could make a wish, what would you come back to life? But I didn't say a word. I slipped out of bed and pulled on my slippers. I always get blisters when I ride without shoes on. Look at those details. Magali, isn't this a good one? It almost reads like an adult book. But you could have a lot of good conversations with this one. You all welcome in. There were 2 bikes in the shed. Sis took the bigger one. Don't laugh, she said. It's my first time. Haven't you ever ridden a bike before? I was too small, but I'm doing all right, aren't I? If you're dead, you don't need training wheels. So they're going to go out for a bike ride together. The dead sister and him. I love it. You never know what you're going to pick from the library shelves. We rode around the yard first, then shot up the drive and out onto the street. It led down a steep hill, and Sis put her feet up on the handlebars. Isn't that dangerous? Nothing can hurt me anymore, she said, and stuck her hands up in the air, too. So she gets to be really daring now that she's dead. She's to ride around with her hands off the steering wheel with cobblestones. Can you imagine? On we rode through the wood between the molehills. There they are going through the woods. Through the molehills. Across the stream, on the grass, we braked hard to see who could leave the longest skid marks. Really great illustrations on this one, too. I love that green with these black marks going through it. Sis found it really easy. She seemed to float over the paths. And I started to float too. Soon we were up in the trees. The leaves clattered against our spokes, and we tringed the sleeping birds off their branches with our bells. That's an interesting word. Tringed the sleeping birds off their branches. So maybe scared, maybe another word for scared. These purples and violets and browns. Above us, the moon was a lantern in the night. We tried to climb that high, but it took too long, and halfway up, Sis got a better idea. There's something I want to show you, she said, pedaling as hard as she could in the opposite direction. We love a good moon in children's literature. Always have to have a moon in children's literature. For whatever reason, always have to. We followed a long path to a white church. Sis jumped off her bike and ran into the graveyard. I recognized the spot. Sometimes I went there with Dad to lay flowers. Look how pretty that is. I'm really enjoying the illustrations on this, especially these blues and these purples, greens. Weird, huh? She said as she went down on her knees. I'm kneeling on my own grave. What's in it? I asked. Oh, there's a coffin down there. That's where I keep my skeleton. Don't you need one when you're dead? She looked at me the way big sisters look at their silly little brothers. This book isn't for everyone. It's it talks about death, but it's really interesting though. I find it interesting how do you talk to kids about death? From the graveyard we rode to the hospital. She pointed out a window on the top floors. This was my room. I didn't know where to look. Oh, so this is where we rode to the hospital. So she's taking him to all the places that she remembers. Sis took me to a park she'd once played in. There was a big lake with seagulls sleeping on posts. She walked out onto the jetty, climbed onto the boat, and untied the rope. All at once, I felt myself growing sad. And it wasn't ordinary sadness, it was something I'd always felt. It was old, dried out sadness. It covered the walls of our house like wallpaper. Sometimes you found it in Mom's soup, in the jobs Dad did around the house, or in a woolly hat for when it's cold. Lots of great words that describe feeling. And then just the mood, the gray mood. Oh, Prince I experienced it at an early age. Yeah, it's got to be interesting how to process death and then process the grief that falls along with it. You coming, Sis called, swinging the oars so hard the boat rocked dangerously from side to side. I sat down next to her on the bench and pulled out the marzipan. There is something I've always wanted to taste, she said, breaking off 2 pieces. She put one on her tongue and the other on mine. She said, and I said, too, and nothing else. So they're having a moment there together with their marzipan on the little boat. When the moon was almost touching the ground, we rowed back home. Look at that gorgeous moon and then the little silhouettes here at the bottom. We shook the wind out of our hair and patted the night out of our clothes, then climbed onto bed together. Sis snuggled up against me. I wondered whether Mom and Dad would laugh or cry if they saw us lying here like this. I couldn't decide. We fell asleep with her stomach pressing against my back. Until I missed the person. Oh, really, Prince Hairflat? Oh, that's a good way of doing that, though, when you're a kid. When I woke up, she was gone. I felt the mattress for the hollow where she had lain. The empty bed. I saw Sis last night, I said at breakfast. Dad had put on some music and the house smelled of freshly baked bread. Really? Mom asked. Yes, I said. And she was bigger than a dream. Aww! So remember at the beginning, the table? Empty, large, cold, overwhelming. And then he processed. Right, Magali. Then he was able to process it, and then look at the table, how big it is with all that food. This was a really good book. A little intense. It said Jeff Ertz grew up in a wooded village in Belgium. He is the author of the middle grade novel, The Blue Wings, also published on the Levine Canero inaugural list. He lives with his wife and 3 children on a small farm. Aww. Bigger than a dream. This is a good one. A little intense. It's not for everybody, but I really loved the way it's written. It sounds like poems. It sounds like poetry. A good way to start the life. Definitely a 10. Definitely give this one a 10 for the topic. I really enjoyed this one. In the comment section, let's see what everybody else is thinking. That one hit you hard? Prince Hairflip? Yeah. It almost has an impact, huh? Dana, welcome in. 10 for Prince Hairflip. Let's set the timer for 1 minute. Let's tap, tap, tap away, you guys. Right on goal. You are at 10K. We need about 10K per book so that we can get, so we can reach our goal. Magali, you give that one a 10 out of 10? How many of you thought was a little bit morbid? Because I know that death is sometimes a sensitive topic. Tonight we are drinking a apple cinnamon tea with a vanilla base, a vanilla syrup base. Dana, I've been homesick for 3 days. Oh no, Dana, do you have the flu? We're gonna pour that tea tonight. pour that tea. Lauren thought it was morbid. Yeah, it was hard. Had to scroll. Oh, Wild Faith. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, yeah, a little bit much, huh? Art tends to do that to us. That's when you know it's really good art. 10 out of 10 for morbid. Magali, really good. Really good. Magali, I get this little syrup thing. It's like a little container. I open it up and I pour the syrup at the bottom. And then I pour the tea. The tea bags are on top. And then I let the hot water hit the tea bag first. And then it goes to the bottom where the syrup is at. Yeah. Can't know life until you know death. Prince Hairflip, totally agree. Lauren, 10 out of 10. Tanya, 10. Yeah, it kind of mixes all together. All right, let's look back in the stacks and see what we can find. Some more really good books. You know what? Let's read this one. I think this one's a new one. In a Blue Room. Yesterday, I don't think I read this one to you guys, but we read this really good one yesterday. It had this blue hue to it. Let me find where it's at. Where in the stacks did we leave it? That's not it. I think it's over here. No. I probably put it over there. I'll have to find it. But it was a really good one. In a Blue Room. Hey, Suri, welcome in. Suri, we haven't seen you in a while. We love a good powder blue and page. Hey, Siri, turn on. She got that right. In a Blue Room, Alice bounces wide awake past bedtime. Oh, that's why. My Suri was activated, and I was wondering, what does she want? Me and my Suri. Dana, that's you. In a Blue Room, Alice bounces wide awake past bedtime. She got a lot of energy. She's got a lot of energy. Time for bed, Mama says, and I've brought flowers for your room. I can only sleep in a blue room, says Alice. Blue is my favorite, and those aren't blue. Ah, but smell, Mama says. So there she is, bouncing on the walls. So she's got her little art easel here. Mom brings in some flowers. She wants blue flowers. Dina. There's her little feet, little doll feet hanging out from the bed. In a blue room, lilacs and lily whites give off a gentle scent. Ooh, that sounds really pretty. Alice twirls around, plops down, and breathes deeply. In a blue room, lilacs and lily whites. Lilac smells so good. They almost have like a pungent smell to it, but it smells really good. Mama returns with a steaming cup. Would you like some tea? Blue tea, says Alice. There's no such thing, Mama says. Just taste. Alice, she's all about blue. That's her little spin for now. In a blue room, orange tea cools down in a brown cup. Alice takes a sip, then rubs her drowsy eyes. Mama brings an extra quilt. It's silky soft and warm. It isn't blue, Alice says. Mama whispers, touch. She's working extra overtime trying to get her to sleep. She brings her flowers, tea, an extra blanket. In a blue room, a quilt of red and green feels warm and cozy. Alice snuggles up. She is in her little quilt, her tea, and then her flower. Mama tiptoes in. I have lullaby bells to sing you to sleep. Blue, sighs Alice. Only sleep blue. Mama smiles. Mom's really patient too. The next step is we're turning out the lights and you're going to bed and I'm going to shut the door. Have a good night. Cry it out. In a blue room, yellow bells on black strings chime softly in the window breeze. Alice yawns. Almost gone. Oh, we have Blue Sun that joined us. Blue Sun must have heard our call. The moon, Mama, Alice murmurs. Mama whispers, here it comes. Click. Oh, I guess she's ready to fall asleep. She needs all these props to get her to go to bed. Off goes the lamp and in comes the moon, bathing everything in its pale blue light. Blue flowers, blue tea. Oh, so she's waiting for the blue. We love a good moon in children's literature. So Mom puts her to sleep, turns out the light. When she gets to her routine, off goes the lamp and in comes the moon, bathing everything in its pale blue light. Blue quilt, blue bells. Oh, I love this. I was wondering, why do we have to keep hearing blue, blue, blue through the whole thing? Blue moon. We love a good moon in children's literature. Yes, very nostalgic. And Alice, fast asleep. This is a great story about putting your child to bed and the routine that you have to go through in a blue room. And then we see the planet and the stars. Putting your kid asleep, one who's very active, in a blue room. Yeah, this one was a really good one. This one was a really good one. Definitely a 10 out of 10. Very creative too. Very artistic. Gorgeous illustrations. We started the live today with Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. We followed that up with I'm Discombobulated, because I just found that book I was looking for. Oh, so this one, and then where's the book about death? Where did I put that at? Here. All right, let's get organized again. Bigger Than a Dream, 2, and then In a Blue Room, 3. Definitely 3. I really liked 3. This one was a really good one. What are you guys thinking in the comment section? 1, 2, or 3? Magali, you like that one? Yeah, that was a good one. Janelle Howell, a 10? I agree. I give that one a 10. Very artistic, very creative. Janelle Howell, 3? Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, let's set the timer for 1 minute. Let's tap, tap, tap away. That is our second book, guys. We fell a little short. Magali, between 2 and 3. We fell asleep in between those 2 books because we only made 11K. We should be at 20K right now if we want to make our goal by the end. We've got 32 people in there. All right. I found that book that I was telling you guys about. I think I read this one to the West Coast feed last night. Did I read you guys this one? Good Night Thoughts. Everything's blue. We must have been in the blue section of the library. Hey, Bree, welcome in. Did I read you guys this one, or did I read this to the West Coast? Who was here yesterday? Who remembers this one? I'll read it again, just in case I didn't read it to you guys. Good Night Thoughts. We love a good cobalt blue. Georgia Peach, you don't remember this one? Oh, okay. We love a good deep cobalt blue. Good night thoughts. For those of us who have racing thoughts at night. I'm never going to fall asleep. Oh, Dana, the one about death? I'll reread that one again, the West Coast. I'm never going to fall asleep. Look at how pretty those illustrations are. That deep blue. Just blues, different shades of blue and white make up, and these dark shades here make up the picture. My brain is too noisy. My thoughts are too jumpy. And every time I close my eyes, I'm afraid of all the scary stuff I will see. So here's somebody with a very loud brain in the middle of the night. And look at this green here. The contrast of that blue and that green. The little shades of green here. Sometimes I see myself being chased by a giant robot sharks. Other times I can see my toilet bowl overflowing with tarantulas. One time I even saw a dentist. How am I supposed to relax if all I can think about are robot sharks or tarantula toilets or the dentist? How many of you guys have these type of dreams? Dana, this is you. Jumping up, bouncing up and down on the bed, and then not being able to sleep with a racing brain. Toilet bowl full of tarantulas. Yeah, Georgia Peach, I think we did this one for the West Coast. This one time I tried to fall asleep and saw the whole entire world pop into a piece of popcorn. Another time I thought about my very best friend sailing off to sea on a pirate ship made of toast. So the whole world popped like a popcorn kernel. And their best friend sailed away on a piece of toast. Big slabs of butter. And then you've got the little girl there, the little boy. Scared. And just the other night, as soon as I closed my eyes, I fell off a cloud. But instead of falling down, I flew straight up toward the sun. It was the most scared I've ever been in my whole life because everything got so bright, I couldn't see anything at all. So instead of falling down, he fell upwards toward the sun. And then you see this moon here. We love a big moon in children's life. And here's the sun falling upwards towards the sun. I love that they chose to do a pattern sun rather than just a regular colored sun. How am I ever going to fall asleep knowing that the world might pop like popcorn, or that my friend might sail away with pirates, or that I might fall from the clouds straight up toward the sun? I wish these thoughts would stop bouncing around inside my head. All these sleep demons. Sometimes I try to have happy thoughts. I close my eyes really, really tight and try to imagine a baby panda opening its arms and giving me a hug. Other times I think about a choir of candy-covered donuts all singing my favorite song. I'll take the candy-covered donuts. Thoughts really tight to try to imagine a baby panda opening its arms and giving me a hug. Aww. And if I really can't fall asleep, it feels like my brain won't ever calm down. I try to think about all the people who love me, holding hands and wearing every piece of clothing they own. That's very odd, but it makes them happy. Wearing every piece of clothing they own. I try to think of baby pandas and singing donuts and everyone who loves me, but no matter how hard I try, that just makes more noise for his brain. The collection of noises and thoughts. I still can't fall asleep. Look at that face. Those eyes. The little tarantula. Coming down to say hi. But then I close my eyes again. Really fun details here. Here are the candy-covered donuts. The gold colors here. I remember that my brain can be noisy and that my thoughts are sometimes jumpy. And then I remember that all that noise and all those thoughts are just in my head. I'm not being eaten by a robot shark. My toilet isn't overflowing with tarantulas. And thank goodness there isn't a dentist in sight. As far as I can tell, the world hasn't popped into a piece of popcorn. My best friend is still here, and I'm not falling from a cloud. Aww. He's getting brave and sticking his tongue out at all the things that scare him. Right now, everything is okay. And so am I. Getting ready for bed. Good night, thoughts. Oh, magical. Let's see. Good night. Oh, now he's dreaming. He's dreaming he's on that piece of toast, sailing away with his friend. Good night, thoughts. This is a really good book. Very artistic, well drawn, a good story. Yes, good night, thought. M's333, welcome in. Okay, let's review what we have read so far tonight. You guys are getting really good titles. We haven't said that, but you guys are getting really good titles. We're a little on the lazy side tonight. We're 15K. Some of us are working a little bit harder than others, but that's fine. Let's set the timer for 1 minute. Let's tap, 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 tap. We want to get as many likes as we can. That way we can send the live out to the For You page. All right. I'm gonna read this one. I read it to the East Coast. Or I'm sorry, I read it to the West Coast last night. It's a really good one. A really good one. I think you guys will enjoy it too. It's written by Julie Andrews and Emma Walton Hamilton. The First Notes, the story of Do Re Mi. You guys haven't heard this version before. This is a really good one. Thank you so much from the attic. I really appreciate that. From the attic, welcome back. We haven't seen you in a while. You guys really love this one. We love a good end page. We love a good, intricate, detailed end page. From the attic, how are you doing? A 1,000 years ago, in the small community of Pomposa, Italy, a boy named Guido was sent to a monastery to begin his schooling. In those days, a monastery was considered the best place to receive an education. The monks who lived and taught there were studious and wise. Doing really good. Flowers from there. Really appreciate it. I put flowers from the attic. It's that book from the attic. I love it. So here's Guido. Guido's a monk that lives in Pomposa, Italy. When he was old enough, he was sent to this school. It's a very, very Italian-looking monastery. They're growing, they're locally sourcing their own food. Young Guido spent his days learning Latin, math, astronomy, and his favorite subject, music. He heard music everywhere, in the warm voices of the monks chanting their prayers, and in the chiming of the bells that summoned them to chapel several times a day. He heard it in the sounds of nature, in the splish-splashing of the stream where he fished with his friend Brother Michael, in the buzz and hum of bees and crickets, in the monastery garden, and in the lilting song of the nightingale that lulled him to sleep at night. Alex Jackson, my friend. Let's mute account. I hope I got the right one. Yeah, Alex, mute account. Block account. I'll block that person. Okay. All right. So here's our friend. He loves nature. Young Guido. Loved to sing. Loved music most of all. Loved to listen to it at night. We love a good moon in children's literature. Lots of blue shades tonight. Lots of blue shading. Guido yearned to know everything about music and dreamed of one day teaching it to others. But learning music was hard. Day after day, week after week, Guido listened, memorized, and practiced, knowing it could take 10 years to master the complicated hymns and harmonies he loved so much. When he wasn't studying, Guido worked in the monastery's great library. He often wondered why music couldn't be written down and read like words in a book. So young Guido, lots of time to pass, lots of time to think. He started thinking about music. When he wasn't studying, Guido worked in the monastery's great library. He often wondered why music couldn't be written down and read like words in a book. Guido thought about this a lot. One day, while practicing his hymns, he made a discovery. He was only singing 6 basic notes. No matter how high or how low he sang, no matter what melody, the same tones repeated themselves. He found a piece of parchment and made a small mark on it to represent the lowest tone. Then he drew another and another, stacking each mark higher than the next, just as he had been singing them. His heart beat faster as he drew lines between and through the marks as if they were climbing a ladder. So he would sing, and each time they had these same same notes, same 6 notes. So he decided to write them down, to see them visually, instead of just hearing it. Could this be a way to write music? If so, then each of the 6 marks would need a name. Humming his favorite hymn, he noticed that 2 had 6 parts. He took the first syllable from each line of his hymn and noted it next to one of the marks he had made on the parchment, going from bottom to top. La, sol, fa, mi, re, ut. He sang each syllable aloud, raising his voice step by step to march the way the notes marched up on the lines. Guido thought he might burst with excitement. If all the chants, all the hymns, all the harmonies could be written down in this way, maybe people could learn to read music. Then they would always know the correct melody to sing, even if they had never heard it before. Really interesting. Clutching his parchment on his chest, he raced across the courtyard to share his discovery with his teachers. But the monks simply shrugged and turned back to their work. They had no interest in trying something new. One even suggested that Guido should spend less time thinking up foolish ideas and more time praying. Heavy-hearted, Guido trudged back to his chamber. In the days that followed, Guido grew despondent. Instead of fishing and gardening, instead of singing and enjoying all the sounds of music around him, he kept to himself, and his world became quiet. So he was all excited about his new discovery, and the old cranky monks squashed his dream. Then he went into his room and he became despondent. But look at that great picture, though, an aerial view looking down. And then look at those great tile pieces. Great designs. One day, a visitor arrived at the monastery. Bishop Theodald of Arezzo was searching for a teacher to train the choir singers at his great cathedral. The bishop had heard of Guido's passion for music and invited him to take a position. Guido quickly accepted. Hallelujah! The stranger comes into town and finds Guido a job worth doing. But look at the illustrations on that, guys. Really cool. I love this red. Deep red. One day I'm going to get a big red velvety coat like this and wear it online. Maybe during Easter time. Guido left Pomposa and began the journey to his new home. The sun warmed his back, songbirds twittered, and the clip-clopping of his donkey hooves made a happy rhythm as he jogged along. A breeze whispered through the olive trees, and the tall cypresses stood to attention. Guido began to hum, and then to sing. Right, wouldn't that be funny? Big red coat. So he's off to the city to discover himself. Bishop Theodald welcomed Guido, and when the young monk shared his musical ideas, the bishop did not shrug or turn away. He clapped his hands in delight and encouraged Guido to teach his new method to his cathedral singers. As Guido worked with his pupils, he sometimes pointed to his hand where he had written the musical notes. Within days, the choir had mastered hymns they had never heard before. Amazed, the bishop urged Guido to write a book about his revolutionary ideas. Guido dedicated his book to the kindly bishop. Hey, Victoria, welcome in. That's fine. It'd be a nice big kingly robe. Funny. Word of Guido's innovative approach to teaching music began to spread far and wide. Early one morning, the clatter of hooves and fanfare of trumpets resounded through the Gran Piazza of Arezzo. Sleepy villagers tumbled out of their homes to see what commotion was about. Three magnificently robed cardinals carried a message from Pope John Paul, the most important leader in the land. The Pope had heard of Guido's musical theories, and he was summoning the young monk to Rome so he could see them for himself. So his fame is spreading. I'm hungry thinking about toast because of the last book. And not butter too, huh, Dana? The Pope immersed himself in Guido's ideas and was so impressed by the ease with which he was able to learn new melodies that he suggested the Pope immersed himself in Guido's ideas and was so impressed by the ease with which he was able to learn new melodies that he suggested Guido stay in Rome permanently to teach the Roman clergy. But Guido politely declined the Pope's offer. Though honored by the invitation, he preferred to return to his simple pastoral life in Arezzo. He's like, I don't want to work with some grouchy old priests. They tore him down last time. It is said that on his way home, Guido stopped at the monastery in Pomposa, where the monks who had been so disagreeable now welcomed him and apologized sincerely for their lack of faith in him. Guido surely would have forgiven them, grateful to have realized his dream of teaching music and to have made his joys easier for people to learn. Guido's system of musical notation, now called solfege, eventually spread throughout Europe and across the world. Many years later, Guido's square notes became oval shapes. The first note, ut, was changed to do, and the seventh note, ti, was added. T, to become the musical scale we know and use today for the basis of the song Do Re Mi. Imagine if Guido could have heard that famous song. What fun he might have had singing it with his students. Aww! So he returned home to his pastoral life. He really liked living in the quiet countryside. He didn't like living in the city. Doe, a deer, a female deer. Ray, a drop of golden sun. This is where Julie Andrews comes in. Me, a name I call myself. Far, a long, long way to run. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note to follow. So, look at these fabrics. Aren't they gorgeous? Tea, a drink with jam. Tea, a drink with jam and bread. That will bring us back to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I didn't get that quite right, but you get the gist of it. And then we've got this hot cup of tea here with some bread and jam. The end. The first notes, the story of Do Re Mi by Julie Andrews. Gotta give it up for Julie Andrews and her ability to write. This is a really good book. I'm pretty sure it's influenced by her singing and acting. Alrighty, in the comments section, everybody, let's see what everybody is thinking tonight. You guys got really good titles tonight. Really good titles, really strong back-to-back titles. I don't understand how I lose these books, and there's like several of them. What did I do with them? I learned something. Isn't that interesting, Dana? 10 for Victoria. I grew up watching that. Yeah, Victoria, yeah. The hills are alive with the sound of music. All right, so we started our live with Black Women in History. I have no idea where to put all my books at. one. We don't really consider this one a book. This is just to get our brains warmed up. Then we read Bigger Than a Dream. This one is about death. This is a good one. A little morbid, but a good one. After that, we read In a Blue Room 2. Good Night Thoughts 3. And then the first notes of Do-Re-Mi. I'm going to say my favorite one overall tonight. I really enjoyed this one, Good Night Thoughts. I just love the illustrations and I love the idea of a busy brain at night when you're trying to sleep. Wonderful World, welcome in. In the comment section, let's see what everybody's thinking. 1, 2, 3, or 4. We didn't quite hit our goal tonight. That's okay. We didn't quite hit our goal tonight, but that's okay. We'll be able to make it up during the West Coast feed. Magali 2 was good. Mm-hmm. Dana, yeah, Good Night Thoughts is giving OCD and trying to sleep. Good way. And same with the girl, that girl that was jumping on the bed too. In a Blue Room. Lots of ADD tonight and lots of OCD characters tonight. Alrighty, friends, if you're on the East Coast and you're getting ready for bed, have yourselves a good night. Those of you who are going to be getting winter storms coming in, be safe, stay indoors. I know Christina was going to get some more snow in the next couple of days. If you're going to stay up with us, we'll be back again in about 40 minutes for the West Coast feed. Thank you again, guys, for the 30,000 likes. Really appreciate it. And we will see you in about 40 minutes. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you soon.